Hey guys, Ashlane here, coming at you today sharing a great Arena 5 deck, and the reason this deck is great is because all the cards have extreme defensive utility and application, as well as offensive, but this is really a great defensive deck. We're going to discuss why it is and how it's so powerful and how to play it correctly using two variations, one with the Giant Skeleton and one with the Freeze Spell. First, we'll watch the Freeze Spell variation, and if you don't have the Ice Wizard, I'd recommend substituting a archer or perhaps a regular wizard. Reason why I don't want to sub a bomber into this deck is you only have the musketeer that can target air troops other than the ice wizard, so you want another air targeting unit in this deck. Now, it's not just the cards that make this deck so special and unique, it's how you should play this deck, and that should be very defensively. That's the reason why I'm bringing it to you guys today. The idea behind this deck, and to be honest, the idea behind the majority of winning decks is you play a defensive game and you wait for your opponent to make a mistake. Manu's actually used this deck to get all the way to 3850 cups. 3850 cups as a level 10. That's really impressive, and he's done it. When I ask him what's your secret, what's your trick, to get there with these level cards, he says simply, I always play defensively and I react to my opponent, always, the entire match. And then if they make a mistake, if they overcommit to a push, for example, and Manu's able to defend it, then he capitalizes on that and makes them pay on the other end. So essentially, he's turning successful defenses into successful offenses. Look at right here. He's not playing anything right now, just being patient. He knows the opponent has the P.E.K.K.A. and the Dark Prince. Those are a lethal combination, so he wants to make sure he has enough elixir to be able to defend it. He also has the Hog in this deck, and that is the one offensive card. One little thing you just saw him do right there is put goblins on top of that elixir pump. Now, this deck does not have the elixir pump, hence it is a Arena 5 deck. Now, the idea behind elixir pumps with this deck is, especially if you've already taken down their tower, you can go ahead and commit to taking down the elixir pump in the middle of the map like that using troops, and again, the opponent makes a mistake. And I see this pretty often. People play the elixir card the elixir pump card at the wrong time. You don't play the elixir pump card when you know that your opponent has full elixir on their end, because it's hard to recoup that elixir right away, and it puts you at a pretty decent deficit. So you really want to be careful when you're using the elixir pump card. So now there's going to be a little bit of a rush on his right tower, but he really commits to that king tower, and he comes away with a 3 crown to no crown victory. So certainly this deck is very successful for Manu, and I've been using it a little bit here and there. In fact, I'm going to use it towards the end of this episode. Let's go ahead and watch another replay here. It says 3470 on Manu right now, but actually in real time in the game right now, he is at 3847 right now, so certainly use this deck to climb up another almost 400 trophies in the game. And like I said, you can't just pick up any of these decks. This goes with this deck and every deck that I share with you guys. I share decks that a lot of my clanmates or myself have had a lot of success with, but it doesn't necessarily mean you can just pick up the deck and immediately start having success. I really put the barometer at around 10 to 15 matches with one single deck before you can really get a handle on how to properly use it. Sometimes you don't even realize that you're learning how to use the deck, and you are. The opponent here just places that Inferno Tower just a hair too late, and Manu makes him pay with that very well-timed freeze spell there. And now, when you can get the Valkyrie on those towers, she actually does a decent amount of damage. And even with that Frost Wizard, look at that. He was able to take down take a lot of hit points off that tower. So very good job there. And again, he's going to reload defensively. He did not overcommit to that offensive push. And that right there, guys, is the key to this game. You don't want to overcommit. Take little nibbles at towers. Don't necessarily drop all your troops, because let's face it, it's human nature when you think you have your opponent on their toes, on their heels, you say, hey, let's go for gold here. Let's drop all my cards on that lane. And then guess what? The next thing you know, you find them actually defending your push, and then they have a push of your own and you have no elixir to defend it. Either that, or they'll do a push in the opposite lane offensively, and again, you've overused your elixir and it puts you at a big disadvantage. So know your elixir cost of all the cards when you're playing against an opponent. Look at this deck. It's so well balanced, and he really has an answer to everything the opponent throws at him. Again here, against a Musketeer, Valkyries do great. Valkyries are a great defensive troop, not only against the low hit point units, but against all types of different units, because they do a decent amount of splash damage in their AoE effect, and they have a decent amount of hit points. So Valkyries, you actually, I noticed, and even in TV Royale and top gameplay, Valkyries are seeing a resurgence of usage in the game. And whenever you see your opponent play the Princess, even if you don't have the Princess, it's very easy to learn how to counter it. Just use arrows. And make sure when you use your arrows, it hits the tower as well, because the idea here is that you're killing the Princess, who costs 3 elixir, your arrows cost 3 elixir, and you're doing a little bit of damage to the tower, so you're coming up a winner in that exchange. Now you can see that Manu here used a Hog very smartly there, actually in a defensive way. I said that the Hog is the only offensive troop, but that doesn't include kiting. He used the Hog there to distract all those barbarians away from his tower, buying him some more time because the match was almost over. Let's go ahead and let's see. Should we watch another Manu replay, or should we go ahead and play this deck ourselves here? So let's go ahead and play it ourselves. Now, I actually like this deck with the Giant Skeleton instead of the Freeze Spell, but a lot of people prefer the Freeze Spell, and the Freeze Spell definitely has a lot of utility in this deck too. But I actually love the Giant Skeleton, because it's great against, hey, decks like this, spawning decks, if it is indeed a spawning deck, because the Giant Skeletons can absolutely defend against tons of troops, allowing you to have plenty of elixir to spend on the opposite lane with their big bomb that they drop. That you can actually get so much value off of them. So at this point, I'm just going to defend a little bit here. Again, trying to play very patiently here, but I am full of elixir, so let's going to go ahead and try to sneak this Giant Skeleton in. And again, just trying to just hold off a little bit. I'm going to use some arrows here, try to chop into that was perfect timing there, got that Princess down. Now I'm going to try to sneak into this right lane, because I'm pretty sure he is very low on elixir from defending against that Giant Skeleton. Okay, so I said to play very passive, and I'm playing a little bit aggressive here, but I just sensed the opportunity, and I tried to seize it, and it looks like I'm going to come out all right. So I'm going to play Barbarians over here and take care of this Ice Wizard. I'm going to trail it with an Ice Wizard of my own. He uses a Fireball. He's got to be really low on elixir right now, but the pump is going there, so he can't counter my Ice Wizard, so I'm going to get a couple hundred hit points off that building before that Valkyrie takes it out. Now we're just going to go ahead and recoup an elixir for a little bit here. Let's defend with a Musketeer, and here comes a Princess. Ooh, don't like the Princess there. We're going to have to drop some Goblins to counter her, and then maybe we can sneak in a Hog Rider over here. Let's see if he has an answer for it. Like I said, playing pretty aggressive, but you do have to play a bit more aggressive against these spawner decks, especially before you get to the last minute. That would be the only recommendation I would have against spawner decks. To beat them, you really need to hit them hard in the first 2 minutes, because in the last minute, that's when they really shine. It doesn't even look like this is a spawner deck. It looks like it just happens to be a deck with a Goblin Hut in it. Anyway, he has the Valkyrie card. Let's go ahead and take our time here. Now we're in the last minute here. I have that tower decently damaged. Let's see what he does here. I'm going to drop some Goblins over here. Instead of arrows, he's using a Fireball. Not too worried about this. Going to drop the Valkyrie. She's going to take down that Princess card. Now let's see if we can sneak in another Hog Rider here. And he drops a Hut at the same exact time. That's actually good for me. I'm going to take that Hut down. He's going to lose elixir in that deal, but for sure. And the Hog does make it to the tower, and almost takes it down. Let's use some arrows here and chop into the remaining hit points of that tower. Now we can just play defensively. So not exactly the replay I was hoping for, but hopefully it is going to be a win. 20 seconds left though. We can't rest just yet. Let's go ahead and try to kite this P.E.K.K.A up a little bit with some Goblins, some Barbarians on him as well. They'll chop way down his hit points there. It looks like he's crying. It looks like we're going to pull this one off. Just to add insult to injury on the defensive front, we'll drop a Giant Skeleton there. There's no way he takes him down. And there it is. It's a 1-0 crown victory. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed these decks. That was a faster, more aggressive variation of it, but the idea here is don't do as I say, not as I do, okay? Basically, try to play defensively and let the battle come to you. Pick and choose your spots to go on offense when your opponent is low on elixir. So, guys, thanks so much for watching. Wishing you the best of luck. As always, take care.